All right, it's the Make It Break It rankings here on Pipes Pro Talk after Week 1 in the NFL. These rankings are based on the past week's performance, and going into the next week of games, it's not an indication of how I feel all season long. With that being said, let's go to number 2, the Make It Break It rankings, quarterbacks after Week 1. I'm going to start with the Make It the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, how I see it after Week 1. Number 1, Russell Wilson, who was 31 for 35 for 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in a win over the Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks let Russ cook. He threw 4 incomplete passes and 4 touchdowns. Just a phenomenal showing from my MVP pick for 2020. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes, who was 24 for 32, 211 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a win over the Houston Texans. Put up a lot of points on the Texans defense and looked very good on opening night, like a former MVP and reigning Super Bowl MVP, and he is my second best quarterback in football after Week 1. Number 3, Lamar Jackson, who was 20 for 25 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 picks. And he also carried the ball 7 times for 45 yards and beat the Browns 38-6. The offensive scheme of the Ravens isn't going to allow Lamar Jackson to throw a whole bunch, but he did very well in 25 attempts, completing 20 passes for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns while looking good running the football, and showed why he was the MVP last year and that it wasn't a fluke season. Number 4, Aaron Rodgers, who was 32 for 44 for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 picks. Aaron Rodgers looked great, a rejuvenated, motivated quarterback who aired it out 44 times and put up great numbers in a shootout win over the Vikings. I think Aaron Rodgers is secretly pissed off about the Jordan Love pick and is going to take it out on defenses all season long, and I'm looking forward to it. Number 5, Mitchell Trubisky, who was 20 for 36 for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 picks in a win over the Detroit Lions. I'm going to get hated on for this, but Trubisky looked good. He left a little to be desired as far as completion percentage goes, but maybe Foles made Trubisky better in an open competition. That's my top 5. Wilson, Mahomes, Jackson, Rodgers, and Trubisky in that order. I can't even believe I'm saying Mitchell Trubisky number 5. Anyways, now for the break it, my 5 worst quarterbacks in the NFL after their Week 1 performance. Number 32, Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Miami Dolphins. He was 20 for 30 for 191 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in a loss. He played a very good defense, but needs to perform better if he wants another job after Tua takes over. Mr. September looked like Mr. Turnover. I'd expect to see Tua here in Miami soon. Number 31, Tyrod Taylor, who was 16 for 30 for 208 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, and carried the ball 6 times for 7 yards. He didn't perform well in the rushing or passing game, and the Chargers were lucky to win after a missed field goal and a called back touchdown. Tyrod Taylor has to perform better if he wants to keep Justin Herbert on the sidelines. Number 30, Baker Mayfield. I don't want to judge too hard because the Browns did have to face the best team in football Week 1, but Baker looked mediocre. Nothing like his rookie or Heisman self, but he had to go against very tough competition coming off a weird offseason, so time will tell if he's going to have a bounce-back season. Number 29, Sam Darnold, who was 21 for 35, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception in a loss. He didn't look terrible, but he didn't look good. I think Sam Darnold would be a decent quarterback in a good system with talent around him, but the fact is he has no talent around him and can't overcome all the bad in the Jets organization. He will be out of a job soon, in my opinion. Number 29, Sam Darnold. And to close it out, number 28, Phillip Rivers, who was 36 for 46, 363 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks, and a loss against the Jaguars. I don't think Rivers is even the best quarterback on this roster. I would still start Jacoby Brissett, and he showed why. Colts lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL, and Rivers is the reason to blame on the offense. Low production, high turnover play, and almost 50 attempts for a team whose strength is the offensive line and running game. I just don't get it. That's my top 5 and bottom 5 quarterbacks after Week 1 in the NFL and going into Week 2. This has been Pipes Pro Talk in the second edition of the Make It Break It rankings. We'll see you next time.